Hey, I'm back once again doing another video. Today, I want to talk about something different again about my brother and my parents. So, I'm going to talk about my brother first. Long, long, long time ago, back when I was like 7, 8, 9 years old, me and my brother were pretty close in the elementary school years. Pretty much, we just hang out with each other, talk to each other a lot. We used to act scenes from movies together, pretty much. And and over time, the moment middle school began, and especially high school, we were far from each other. We were far away from each other. And I wanted to be close to my brother. I do, but he distanced himself from me and all of that. And why is it's interesting because he he started to rush a lot. He started to rush a lot. He started like bases talk over me every time I talk to him about something, talk to my parents about something, or it's mostly that. He just talk over me or talk about him solving his problems. He constantly would do that, and it's just annoying. But I just master of just staying calm. So my brother is pretty much 30 years old at this point, and he pretty much acts like he's 7 years old. He just never aged out of 7 years old. He has stayed the same for years and years and years. And you know, what else is that my brother, like, the rushing got worse over time. It's extremely bad now, and he's overprotected over, and he's uh, protected overprotects his property, his material stuff. He always thinks someone's going to steal it, but no one wants his stuff because it's mostly from Japan. But he doesn't. He rejects it. Um, uh, and it just itches. My face a little itches, right? Pretty much. Anyways, he he looked like what to say. My brother pretty much during like his high school years, like he doesn't talk much about his high school years, pretty much, or middle school or elementary. Like, and he rejects like he doesn't really pretty much not into nature or anything. Like, I just be like, just go outside and experience nature. There's really nothing wrong with nature. Don't get me wrong. There's other people don't look at nature all the time, but there's something majestic about nature and the sunsets. I always cared about stuff like that. So he all yeah, pretty much my brother can't process past anger at all. He can't process past anger or like hard situations. He always have an outburst at me and my parents. And basically, and his worst one was 5 months ago, back in January of 2025. He acted more insane and worse than usual of his outbursts because over a heater. And basically, we constantly tell him that we can't keep the heater on all night because it'll burn up the house. But he rejects that. He just can't process that. I can easily process that because it's safety concerns, it's safety hazards. He can't process that at all. And he said he hated me and my mother. And I didn't feel sad or anything about that. He always, I knew he said he'll hate me because I speak real life to him. He don't want, he don't want to know about reality. He just want to stay in his 7-year-old mindset, the man-child mindset. Because if you speak real life stuff to him, he'll reject it, and it's pretty sad. And he's 30 years old, and he's act like he's really 7. But half of it, I feel like half is his fault, and half of it is my parents' fault for raising him that way. Because my parents never taught my brother about growth or anything at all. But I'll get to my parents fully in a sec. But I'm just talking here. My parents never actually talked about growth or the challenges he has to face in life, or to pretty much the like like his 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 flaws is everyone has flaws, but his what he rejects is road rages. He rejects all road rages. I tell him about the road rages and all of that. He rejects it because every time we're in a car or something or in the traffic, he goes completely insane about hurry up and on the highway, uh, like during like people driving crazy on the road. So and just stay calm. He don't know how to stay calm in these situations, and he doesn't want to stay calm. And during January, I forgot. I was just done guiding him at that point. I felt extremely, extremely, extremely distant from him than I never had in my entire like I ever had in my entire life. And he's just on his own. And he's still on his own now. Oh God. Get some Kleenex. Back. I sneezed. It's just dusty out here. Uh, anyways, I'm talking about my parents. My parents, my 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 mother, she always treats me like a kid. She always puts on Disney Channel on every year, every month. I never really had a normal life in high school because she was always like, she was always in it, and the kids always made fun of me for it, and always says, "Do your mother whoop you at home?" And they will say crazy stuff like, "You're gonna make my mother whoop me" and all that, like all bunch of crazy stuff. But they say this because their parents probably whooped them and they were like an adult and all that. But I know that nowadays. Back then, I didn't know that at all. So it was embarrassing, unnerving, and confusing. So, but throughout the 4 years of high school, they did that to me. And, and my mother always, I always say to my mother, I don't watch Disney Channel at all. And she always has an excuse to say. And sometimes she'll get angry at me. She'll take her anger out on me, like I did nothing, because I have nothing to do with what you were going through or anything. She did that when I was middle school, high school, and nowadays. Um, Pretty much. And it's just, It's like it's so stressful. It's hella stress. So my dad, my dad, he grew up fighting. He grew up fighting in the 50s and 60s. He grew up fighting a lot, and he grew up beating up people, kicking off of someone off the bus or so. That's what he grew up being. And and my dad, he's in his 80s. So basically, and also I remember sixth grade, and this story didn't even sit right with me when I first heard it. He beat up this kid. He was in like high school or something. He beat up this kid in front of this little kid, and she was screaming and crying, and and he said he didn't care the little girl was crying or not, and that raised a lot of red flags in me. Something was not right about this. It's not normal. That's how a person can become, the little girl will become traumatized, and she'll probably end up growing up to be the same as that person. So and also my dad always lies to me about life and all that, and doesn't teach me about growth or any of that. He always lies, like he said, with people are gonna fight you in high school, and he told me to fight, and he acts like none happened. He didn't say that, and he talks about when you're a kid, you're like 24, 25 years old. He said that like last year, and and I didn't, because mostly I don't listen for dad for direction. I don't listen for direction. I just go to the internet to listen other people for direction in life. Because most parents tell you the dad listens. Most people go to their dad to listen for directions and all that, but not for mine. And and, and, and my brother and my dad, he used to have like three brothers. He used to have three brothers. Something's crawling on my stuff. He's gone. Uh, well, and dad would even fight the kid. Nah, he don't care how old he was. He didn't care if he was a kid or he was in his teens. He'll fight the kid because he doesn't care. And and one point we were in an argument. My dad and me were in an argument 10 years ago. This never left me. He said, my dad will pick me up and throw me out of a window or something. And and later on, like he denied he say that, but he did. He always lies, and it upset me. That's why I make sure not to become like my dad, because he always says when a woman hits you, hit him back. He told that to me to middle school, and he told me that when I was 13 years old that crying is a weakness, and that built me up for the many years to come. To the point I don't cry anymore because it's weakness. But it broke that last year because I almost started crying because of a sad hurricane video I saw on Hurricane Katrina about this guy losing his wife. I think the video was called Tony Jackson or so. He was pretty much in Biloxi. This almost made me brought tears to my eyes, and made my eyes almost watery. And and that's I don't listen to my mother. I don't listen to my dad. I always go to the internet. But that's all I have to say. I'll see you in the next video. See ya.